many and many releases, we are working on making connector more stable and reliable. And we achieved great progress, I would say. But still, with a new release, always new findings which are coming via support channel. In this release, we added 4 capabilities. 4 sounds long, but in reality, they're very, very small. And if this video would be focused only on those, it will be a very short video. So instead, I decided to remind you all troubleshooting capabilities we have in the Business Central today, and I will mention the new additions as we go. Let's start. Business Central, Shopify Shop Cart, and my first recommendation is to run sync in foreground when you do troubleshooting or when you actually setting up connector for the first time. Let me illustrate. I press some button, sync products. And what I get? I get this notification that job queue started. On one hand, it's amazing because I can actually continue and press other buttons and do something else. I'm not blocked. On other hand, I don't see actually if task is performed, and if it's performed and has issue, I don't know. So it means I need to still stay in the Shopify Shop Cart and look at this notification and click in this action and maybe refresh from time to time. Then I can see error. So in reality, it's not actually allowing me to do something in parallel if I want to monitor the progress. Another way to figure it out if job queue had error is to navigate to Role Center, scroll down to the Shopify activities, and you can see the list of synchronization errors. So it's a list of failed job queues, but not all of them, the only ones which are filtered by Shopify-related job tasks. So it's only specific tasks and the object IDs. All right, something is failing. But if I'm in the Shopify shop, then I can disable this toggle. We change the name and the tooltip to make it more clear what is actually doing. So now the synchronization will be happening in the foreground. Let me press sync products. And obviously, I have a very, very basic error. I haven't enabled connector, for illustration purpose, of course. But here I see the very clear error message. I can copy additional information to explore. That's dramatically easier. Let's activate. And now everything should work smoothly. So we solve the problem. Another one, which I also recommend as a second step in troubleshooting, is to explore log mode. So we have 3 options: error only, all, and disabled. Disabled probably not the best option ever. Error only is good when you are configured connector and it's up and running, then it will save some space on the disk because it will produce dramatically less number of log entries. But if you're just exploring connector or troubleshooting specific case, it makes sense to activate all. Let's see what will happen and what impact it has. Let's navigate to list of the customers and try to add another customer. Just to show you, I have a customer which I created specially to demonstrate export issues. All right. First of all, we do not see the new customer expected because it's expected to have some problems, but we see this caller notification on top which says that record was skipped for some reason. Shopify Connector runs number of checks on customers and other entities like products and shipments and invoices, and it can skip them because it already knows that something will wrong with during the actual export. So it notifies you about the error in a friendly manner. So it says about customer, and this customer has no email address, and email address is something which we definitely want to use when we exporting customer into Shopify. All right, so it will be cantosa.com. All right, we're fixing customer card, and we are repeating the action. So it was not skipped, but still not added. So something went wrong on a different level. So in this case, Shopify Connector didn't detect problem internally, but probably Shopify did it. All right, we see that this transaction actually had 3 entries. So connector, first of all, tried to find customer by email, then try to find customer by phone number, just to avoid a situation when it creates duplicates on Shopify side. And the third one is actually tried to create customer itself. And you can see that this one failed. It has a has error toggle activated. Yeah. The reason, you can see the reason in the response. There is a field which is called like user error. Phone is invalid. Yeah, definitely. The phone which I specified doesn't match any decent format, and Shopify rejects it. So you can see that the good entries and bad entries both are logged. Let's actually delete all of them. Fix the customer, but also change logging mode to error only. Yeah. Let's go to the list of customers, add customer. And for simplicity, my check will be in removing the phone. Of course, you need to correct the data. And let's try again. Customer was added, but if you go to the log entries, we see there nothing. This is expected because no errors, nothing to log. So this is like the 2 starting points which you need to perform if you're doing troubleshooting. Activate running in foreground and activate logging. Now let's explore some practical cases. The next scenario we're going to explore will be inventory level synchronization. So Business Central calculates stock levels and push them to Shopify. First of all, if something doesn't work, what to check? Documentation. But more particularly, item product synchronization. Make sure that inventory tracked is activated on products. Step number 1. Locations. Make sure that you configured location filters and selected stock calculations. There are 3 options in the standard connector: off, projected available balance at date, and free inventory not reserved. If you have something else and it is selected, you need to talk to your Business Central partner, because this is one of the very often customized areas when people change the different ways how stock levels should be calculated. So it means it might be the customization issue. All right, we have stock calculation, everything here. We run everything in foreground, check. We activated logging, check. Nothing suspicious there. What next do we need to explore? We go to the list of products and we scroll in the right to the Shopify inventory fact box. And what you can see that this Authent desk has stock on 2 locations. Yeah? Main location and Copenhagen. And it was updated, you can see when, and you can see that what information was on Shopify but at that moment of time, which inventory level was on Business Central. So now we expect in this Authent desk to have 250 on each location. What about Berlin guest chair? Also 250, but only on 1 location. Okay, we are up to something. Let's find this product in Shopify. This is our Berlin guest chair in Shopify, and we scroll down and we can see list of locations. And actually, you can see that only 1 location is listed here. The others, and in my case it will be Copenhagen, it's not selected. That might happen if you activated some settings, which I will show you a bit later, in Business Central before, after you created product in Shopify. Which setting I'm talking about? Location. When you export product from Business Central, it will automatically create inventory level for it, and it will use default location. But if you have more than 1 location, and you want to create inventory levels like for each of those, you need to activate these toggles. Then when you're exporting product to Shopify from Business Central, it will automatically list these locations as ones from where this product can be on Shopify. All right, let's go back to list of products and choose a synchronize inventory. And scroll down. Now inventory fact box for Berlin chair is different. So you can see that Shopify stock is 242 and 0, exactly, because this is the stock level on Shopify product when we added locations there. And after pushing the information, it's changed. Let's explore. You can see. Now Copenhagen also has 250, as well as main location. All right? If that still doesn't work, remember about logging. You can see the information about last sync and last calculated on. That will help you to figure it out which exact log entry in the log to take a look. So then you can explore if log entry contains information about this specific product. So that will be like the last one, exploration, but least pleasant. All right, next scenario. I'm in the list of products, and you can see that all but one products are mapped. Yes, because this is a new product, so I need to create it. I have now new action, which is called create item. Let me select it and press create item. And it's still not created. What's wrong? Let's scroll to the right, and you can find that we have two new columns, has error and error message. Now you can see the toggle. So how to create unknown items is not actually activated. So for some reasons, maybe template is wrong, or maybe number of series run out, or maybe there is some customization. You cannot create products automatically. Then, first of all, you will see the exact error in the list of products. And the second one, you can actually select these products and try to recreate them manually. Done? Yeah, so in this case, product is created. Now we have it. The next thing which you want to explore here, or might want to explore here, will be related to pricing. First of all, explore Shopify variants. You can see the prices. These prices are calculated by Business Central and updated. And this is exactly information which will be pushed to Shopify. But what you don't see here field which is called compare at price. So this is full price before discount. So if there is some discounts configured, you will see two prices here. Price where discount is already applied, and this is the full one. That can give you some hints which will explain like how Shopify Connector selected the prices. And the next step will be to actually open the product and explore all possible prices and discounts. I can see 300. Now we have some idea where this information is coming from. So like it is all customers, etc. Then I can check my settings and figure it out like why exactly this price was picked and not like something else. The next one will be about orders. You don't see some specific order. You expect it to be here. Why? Why it is missing? First of all, check it in Shopify admin. This order looks suspicious. You can see it's grayed out. Why? Because it's actually archived. Archived orders will not be imported. So if you want it, you need to make sure that it is unarchived. You consider changing settings in Shopify to make sure that orders will not be archived automatically. Okay, now back to Business Central. Instead of synchronizing orders directly, which will import all orders, let's do it differently. Let's notice the name of this section. It's called Shopify Orders to Import. It's a separate table with a list of all orders. If you press Shopify Orders to Import, you will get the all orders. Okay, you can see like the full list, like including the one which we unarchived. And now what you can do actually, if you want specific order, you can select the store and choose Import Selected Order. Order was imported. You can see that it's disappeared here. If we would have some issues about it, there is a field which is called has error. And if you find the record with errors, you can see the more details in the bottom. But I haven't managed to reproduce any situation. All right, order was imported. That's good. Now you can think where this information, which we see here, is coming from. And you can actually inspect received information which was received together with the Shopify order. So this is information which we received from Shopify related to header. You can actually do the same for lines. This is lines, Berlin guest chair. It's a little bit more technical, but it gives you some idea if you're curious about like which information is received and which is not. And it's also applicable to multiple other entries. For example, transactions. This is additional information about transaction. All right, the next step will be to create sales document. An order was created. Notice there is a new fact box, which actually shows some key numbers from Shopify order itself, but also the same numbers from the created sales document. It can be sales order or sales invoice. So it can give you some idea if you configured tax calculation correctly. Let's open the order and do one more thing. We can actually archive the document. Archive order? Yes, we will archive it. And now if we explore archived sales documents with the page inspector, you can see something. You can see the Shopify related fields. Shopify order ID, and more importantly, or very useful, in the lines, Shopify order line ID. That will be very helpful in the exploration of shipping scenarios. But what if I don't need this order at all? Yeah. So I can delete it here. And the reason will be something has changed on Shopify and I want to re-import order. For example, now I have a different shipping charges. All right? So I deleted the document, but it's still marked as a processed. So I cannot create new sales document after synchronization. So there are two buttons which can be very helpful. First of all, you can unlink processed documents. So now I mark this document as not linked. So it's kind of free as freshly imported. But there is also another useful function, sync order from Shopify, with help of which you can import the updates from Shopify for this specific order. So if you know that like something has changed, quantity or shipping charges or something, you can always pull it individually. And now you can create sales document, and the new version is created. All right, the next one. We can see that this order was actually partially refunded. Let's jump to list of refunds and press button create credit memo. And this is a new feature which probably will not be seen by many customers, but only by a consultant who is doing configuration for the first time and testing some scenario. So you can see that something went wrong and the refund account was missing. So I forgot to configure it in the Shopify shop cart. So right here, I get all my details. I can fix it and try it again. But let's go to another scenario. Another scenario will be related to orders and fulfillments. Let's import another order. Let's pick, for example, this one individually. All right, I imported this order. So it is ready. I will create sales document. And I will post it as a shipped. All right, it's shipped. Meanwhile, somebody in Shopify, admin, they will also mark this order as fulfilled. Yeah? By mistake. Something has happened. So now, when in Business Central, I try to synchronize shipment to Shopify. Let's pick the last one, this one. I will get this notification that some records were skipped during the synchronization. View skipped record. Sales shipment header, no corresponding fulfillment lines found. All right. Here is a moment to do some exploration. Let's start with the order. Here we have additional information about fulfillment and fulfillment orders. Fulfillment order, it's like what is pending, what we want to import, and you can see it's marked as closed. All right, so like indeed there is no task for us to complete. What about fulfillments? It is empty, but if we choose actions, sync orders from Shopify, you can actually see that there is already fulfillment. So it gives you some ideas, like that something has happened. All right, what do we do? Next step in this situation will be to go to Shopify and cancel this fulfillment, because apparently it was by mistake. We need to register it from Business Central. All right, unfulfilled. Now back to Business Central. This is our posted sales shipment, which we know has failed. Let me remind you a couple of nuances. First of all, explore Shopify order ID in the header. It should have something. Also explore lines. So we have a Shopify order line number. It's not blank, so it's a good sign. So this is correct. If it's blank, then it means usually somebody modified sales order after it was created from Business Central and it lost its connection to Shopify order. So that will be problematic. In this case, all good. So the only problem is that when we tried to process this document, it was problem on Shopify side because the order was already fulfilled. If you press Update Document and you can scroll to Shopify section, you can see there is a Shopify fulfillment ID and it has like -1 and it is editable. If it is successfully synchronized, it would look differently. But now it is -1. Means something went wrong. But we already figured out what exactly went wrong, so we will just delete it and keep it here as a 0. Right? It means we can try it again. Yeah, it's done a little bit confusing on purpose, so people don't mess up too much. And check documentation first. All right. Another one, you can always review the Shopify activities line where you can see some KPIs which points to something goes wrong. So missing mappings on customer, companies, and products. Orders which are pending processing means you haven't created a sales order, sales invoice. Shipments which are failed or pending and failed shipments. Plus, you can see the job queue failures and orders which were processed, but then update has happened on Shopify side. And this updated information is in conflict which was already happened. So it actually requires extra attention from you. I'm almost green. The only problem I have shipment errors, but I will figure it out separately. All right. Thank you for watching, and I hope this guide will help you to troubleshoot if necessary, but my biggest hope, and what we spent a lot of time, making sure that it actually never happens. Thank you. Bye.